All right there, guys. This is Mr. Lloyd here. I'm going to be working with you on this video, showing you how to divide fractions for Tuesday's work here. So remembering from 5th grade, there are a couple major methods here, and we're going to go through both. The method that we might use is butterfly, and another method that you might prefer is KFC. And you'll see as we work through these practice problems, either method works fine. So let's get right into it. Butterfly method looks like this. Here we're going to look at the problem 1/2 divided by 1/3. And I'm going to create my little butterfly shape here. And I remember that each of these diagonals multiply together. So 1 times 3 is going to be 3. That number always is our numerator for our quotient. And then 2 times 1 here, always the denominator. And so I get an answer of 3/2. I'm almost finished. I just have to remember that 3/2 simplifies to 1 1/2. So there you have it. We just multiplied a fraction using the butterfly method. Excuse me, I should have said divided fractions, shouldn't I? We divided fractions using the butterfly method. Let's see what this looks like using the same the strategy of KFC. So here I'm going to keep 1/2 as 1/2. I'm going to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to flip 1/3 to 3/1. Now I just multiply numerator times numerator, and I get 3. Denominator times denominator, I get 2. Same thing, 3/2 is going to simplify to 1 1/2. Pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at 7 divided by 8. Here you're thinking, wait a second, these are whole numbers, and we're supposed to be dividing fractions. Well, no big deal. We just put a 1 underneath, and now they're fractions. And I multiply 7 by 1. I multiply 8 by 1. Okay, and so let's see what we get here. 7 by 1. 7 times 1, excuse me, is 7. 8 times 1 is 8. And that's it. Pretty simple. Using that butterfly method, let's do the same thing with KFC. So I'm going to rewrite this as 7/1. I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to rewrite this. Oops, let me draw my arrows first. And I'm going to rewrite 8/1 as 1/8. So I now have 7 times 1 would be 7. 1 times 8 would be 8. And that's it. That's my answer, 7/8. All good. Okay, let's take a look at here. Let's take a look at a fraction divided by a whole number. 1/3 divided by 4. So again, we're putting a 1 underneath our whole number to create a fraction. I'm going to multiply 1 by 1, 3 by 4, and I get 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 4 is 12, and that is all she wrote for this problem. So you see here, as we're working through these, multiplying fractions is relatively, once again I made the same mistake, dividing fractions is relatively simple. We just have to remember our procedure, and then we are good to go. 1/3 I'm going to leave as 1/3. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to flip 4/1 to 1/4. And now I go 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 4 is 12, and I'm done. Okay, pretty simple here. One last example to show you. We're going to be dividing a whole number by a fraction. So I put my 1 underneath. I do my butterfly procedure here. So 6 times 8 is 48. 1 times 1 is just 1. And 48/1 is better known as 48. Okay, let's do the same deal over here.